Damn, this episode hit me right in the feels, bro. Well, here we go with another My Academia review of Season 5. And this episode didn't hold back on the topic of disbelief. They really dropped a bombshell on us regarding the work the League of Villains have done. You may be wondering what happened in this episode, and by asking that, you may be hiding under a rock or so. But don't worry, I'll cover the important details that led up to this big episode's big momentum reveal, specifically on a character regarding that purple ghost of Miss Kurogiri, who was first seen in Season 1 in the anime when he was a key man in the USJ incident, and then eventually got himself caught and arrested in Season 4. But anywho, this episode does tackle Kurogiri and his origins, which got both Aizawa and President Mike involved in this ordeal. As so, during school hours, they were both sent to the prison facility where Kurogiri was in. An investigation was done on Kurogiri about finding the whereabouts of the League of Villains, led by Gran Torino and Naomaza, the police detective. In their investigation, Kurogiri starts to show some form of trace of how Nomu will react when given orders, as Kurogiri would not speak to them. That to be the case, they found out the person who Kurogiri became a Nomu from is a young man named Oburo Shirakumo, since they both have quirks that are similar. With that, the episode forms a flashback. It shows this young man, Shirakumo, who went to UA along with Aizawa and President Mike when they were students, as it also portrays that he died when being crushed by a building during an incident. After that, both President Mike and Aizawa were tasked to perform a miracle on getting some sort of connection between the three to receive information. Then the both of them entered the room and sat down to talk. The police detective said to them if any progress isn't done, then they had to bring in Shirakumo's family to help out. Aizawa didn't take that lightly, as he doesn't want it to be put through this. Aizawa activates his racing quirk to get through Kurogiri. Kurogiri and the two teachers started to talk to make conversation as Aizawa and President Mike attempt on calling Shirakumo, which made Kurogiri confused as he doesn't know who they're mentioning. With talks advancing, Aizawa brings up the past as we see the type of person Shirakumo was in the group. He was an extrovert type who was very close to his friends and looks after them, who was very open, always has a smile on his face, and having ambitions to have the three of them work together in an agency. That being brought up as their conversations become more tense, with Aizawa and President Mike calling Shirakumo. Kurogiri starts malfunctioning and twitching until finally reveals what's inside that mist, which is the corpse of their longtime dead friend Shirakumo. And surprisingly, Shirakumo begins to talk, but in a struggling way, stuttering Aizawa's name, and we see Aizawa pleading through the glass window, telling Shirakumo to fight it, and we see Shirakumo trying to speak to his friends by giving them a clue as he spoke out the word hospital before he reversed himself back to Kurogiri. I guess you can say after that emotional reunion, they figured that this clue of the hospital ties into something with the League of Villains, and once they got the info, they spoke to the Public Safety Commission on their report, which got telephoned to Hawks, who happens to be in the same room with one of the members from the League of Villains, who is the villain's name twice himself. When receiving that info, Hawks leaves the room to get coffee supposedly, as he says to himself that the puzzles are in pieces after hearing the word hospital. The scene transitions to a doctor leaning himself onto a glowing window, talking to himself, saying this work is a masterpiece all for one and himself has sought. The masterpiece he's referring to is Shiraki, who's being seen here, and we get a better close-up of Shiraki being experimented on with shock therapy, which from my perspective he's being tortured relentlessly, being in pain, screaming at the top of his lungs, but all we hear is the doctor giving off his evil laugh while Shiraki is dealing with excruciating pain. As the episode ends there. Alright then, with that wraps up the video. But before I close this off, I got to address the videos being slacked off this past week or so, which I do apologize for the manga review and this video as well. The manga review, I just took my time with it. I don't know why, but I just did. As for this video, could have been finished a few days ago, but unfortunately a few days ago my Wi-Fi has been out and my internet has been running badly, so it took a while for the editing to be finished, but at long last I'm finally done with this. With that mentioned, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please give this video a like, and if you want to consider subscribing to my channel for more Macadamia content. Also subscribe to my Twitter at akib down in the description below, and see y'all next time in my next video. Peace.